no joke, right now I'm thinking about leaving. Like, I don't know what I'm doing here anymore.
Where do you want to go? That's what we were talking about.
I don't know. You guys
want to go Texas or
I don't know. Probably Texas, maybe Florida.
I think Texas is the winner. I don't want to live in Florida.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I want to live in Texas either. But like,
really,
I love this. Like the idea that I would have to leave 85 and sunny today. We're in Santa Monica. It's perfect. We can't go to the beach. We've got all of the worst types of people running this state. Our governor, Gavin Newsom.
But isn't there?
This is what leftism is.
Isn't there a part of you that wants to fight to stay though?
There is, and I'm trust me, that is where I've been at the last 72 hours.
Yes.
I have been at that like internal thing constantly. Like, do you stay and fight, even though there's almost no evidence that you can turn this thing around in this state, or do you just get out?
Then they win. I feel like if we leave, look what Elon Musk did. You want to do what? All right, I'm going to take my facility. I'm out of here. Whoa.
Yeah,
all right. You can open up. He's like, that's what I thought.
Did they open? Is that what happened? Because
exactly.
They went. Well, they're letting him. I guess they're letting. What did they do? They're letting the facility remain open or something.
Because they were going to say none of it can be open because it's not essential goods. But then they went back on that. Said, well, you can open, but there has to be a limited number of people and the necessary precautions.
The thing is that Eric Garcetti and Newsom and all these people, that for a while the California economy was doing really well right before this.
We're crushing it.
Seems like a crazy gamble to keep us shut down this long. Why are they doing this?
So it depends how far down the rabbit hole you want to go.
Let's go.
Well,
dude.
Yeah. I mean,
that's why you're here.
So look. There's the literal version of this, which is okay. Maybe they know something about COVID that they're not telling us,
that's what I'm thinking.
So maybe that is. But I don't know about that. It's like we crushed the curve. Nobody's sick. The idea that we really shouldn't be doing this right now. Empty. Hospitals are empty. The only people that with minor exceptions, it's like if you're over 80 and already sick, those are the people.
Or younger obese have problems.
Or what?
Younger and obese.
Okay, so if we take all of that stuff, it's like that is not enough of a reason to keep all of us who are in the prime of life away from our friends, from our family. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I was thinking the other day, like, I want to hug my mom. My mom's in New York, but like, this is crazy at this point. She's 70. She can't leave the house, basically. So the rabbit hole, though, would be, if you want like that answer, it's that they genuinely want to destroy the economy so that Trump loses. Like,
how insane is that?
I don't think it's that crazy. They threw everything at Trump. Russia, Ukraine, this, that, the other thing. Now there's all this Flynn stuff leaking out that's going to look really bad for Obama and Biden. And it's like, maybe they really... Remember, Bill Maher, a guy who I really like in a lot of ways. Don't forget, this is a guy who 2 years ago was talking about how if the economy crashed, if that's what it took to get rid of Trump, then that would be good. Like, I think a lot of lefties think like that. Like, they think Hitler's in charge, as bananas as that is. Mm-hmm. And what would you do to take out Hitler? If you would ruin every 300 million people's lives?
Did they notice that we were at 3.2% unemployment? Did they notice that we were at full employment? I mean,
it's more important to get Trump out than any of that to them.
And for them, they also don't believe in numbers. So it's like, it doesn't matter how many unemployed people are there because we'll just make up money. We'll just make up money to give them. And then you just keep these people on the dole forever.
You have to create government programs to fill in where private enterprise.
But they love that. They love government programs, no matter how many times it keeps people in perpetual poverty generation after generation.
But I don't get why the masses can't see the numbers and see that it's gone to politics now more so than
they might have
beating COVID and being safe. People, not if you walk down the street. I just got shit for not wearing a mask in a coffee.
Yeah.
I mean,
what are you talking about? The mask ain't shit.
The truth is that people are just complacent. We live in the freest place ever right now, right? Like, we have no idea. None of the three of us have any clue what real oppression is, what real having to fight authority is. There are plenty of other people that are American that do know that came here from Eastern Europe, or that's parents survived communism or Nazi Germany or a zillion other things. We have no idea when it starts to come. And I get a lot of emails from people all over the world that are like, it's starting to feel like that.
Yeah.
It's starting to feel like the governments are just coming. And that's the thing. The idea that I would leave Cali, I freaking love it here. My life is so good. I have a great home and home studio. And like, I got everything I want. It all came together here. And for the last 3 weeks, the thing that I can't get out of my head is maybe you got to go.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I know it sucks.
But it's like, but the stay and fight thing, it's like...
The thing in me is the stay and fight, and it has to go with guys like you and Rogan and Jordan Peterson, the smarter minds, translating it to the masses.
That's why you...
Listen, I'm not a quitter. I'm not a quitter because I would have to do something else, right? Like, I've been gotten a lot of hate over the years. So I'm not a quitter.
But we should learn something from Elon Musk, who's a brilliant man, who was like, no, I'm not doing that, man. If you do that, I'm taking all these employees and we're going to Texas.
Listen,
they bent the knee.
They bent the knee. I've been on Fox News basically every day for the last 3 weeks, railing against Newsom by name, railing against Garcetti. So I'm trying.
Do you ever get any response from them?
No. But by the way, I usually do it pretty respectfully. I mean, sometimes kind of jokey about them, but like I've invited them on my show. I would treat both of them exactly the same way I've treated every other guest, which is with nothing but respect.
They have a difficult job.
Tell me your shit. Tell me why you're doing what you're doing. That's it.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
give me an explanation. I don't have one.
With Garcetti, when he's like, yeah, we're locking down for 3 months. That was it. It got leaked by the LA Times. And you're like, wait, hold on. Why? We beat the curve that you told us May 15th. I know. But then you don't give us any sort of explanation. And then they see the backlash. And then 2 minutes later, after that gets released, he goes on CNN and he's like, no, I'm not saying it's going to be the same lockdown. Businesses are still going to stay open, but it's just the necessary steps. But no, they don't explain anything.
He risks losing the next election, though. I think these guys are.
Well, he risks it. He risks it if enough people wake up. But so that's the stay and fight question is like, have these guys gone so bananas, so off the rails, so drunk with power that even in California, enough people are just like, forget this. I don't know that maybe it is
you're
possible.
Cynical enough to believe, and I'm asking because I think I am too. That like an outfit like CNN, when they frame the amount of deaths. So what this one guy who's got a bald
head. You say outfit or alpha?
The way they no, an outfit CNN. They will have a journalist on and he'll say the equivalent of 2 towers, 9/11. All people that died in 9/11.
Horrible,
the equivalent of that is dying every single day, and people still don't get it. And it's like, is that what you're saying? And do you mind like having some caveats around that? How old are they? Are we sure of that? Are they all being tested? There are all these questions where you're like, it's almost like they want this lockdown to go on forever.
They do. Well, first off, their ratings are up in the midst of this because we're all trapped at home. So the media is dead. I mean, that's an important thing to just like, we have to just say it and know it. The mainstream media is just absolute dead. CNN is the WWE.
It is?
I mean, I think that moment when you saw that moment when Chris Cuomo walked out of his basement and they said, well, he's been in quarantine for 3 weeks and here he comes, and he had the shivers and he chipped a tooth because he had COVID and blah. And it's like he comes up and he's sweating and then he announces, it was because he was working out downstairs while he had COVID. The whole it's all fixed. Just a week before he had said he was in quarantine for 3 weeks. It turns out a week before he got into a fight with a biker outside of his house in the Hamptons.
And there's video.
It's like it's all made up nonsense. We are watching WWE skits in front of us and pretending it's real.
Why
don't people get it?
No, So I'm on a book tour right now. I have done every freaking podcast you can think of. I've been on every Fox show repeatedly. I would go on every single CNN show. Here, I'm saying it again. I have not gotten not one invite from MSNBC.
They're just afraid of you. They just.
My only caveat though would be I would only do it live because I don't trust them on the editing side. But Fox, I go on live. They don't tell me to say anything. I was supposed to be on Perino right before I got here, but then this Flynn story dropped, so they canceled me at the last second.
We are so polarized, aren't we, in this country? It's just so fucking.
Well, I think most of us are like this.
Yeah.
Most people.
I think we're the fortunate ones, don't you?
No, I think most
we're
people
fortunate.
are moderate.
We're fortunate in that we're not like completely partisan, crazy people wandering around thinking that Nazis are hunting us down or that half the country is evil or something like that. Most people aren't. You meet most people, it's like most people are willing to admit they don't know everything. Most people are willing to admit that, they want to figure out a way to live with other people. But the media they have just failed us. Just because that thing says CNN and you remember that from 20 years ago doesn't mean anything.
But like even with Fauci, it's like take him into consideration when he came out and goes, he's been on the record saying, this is nothing. It's not a big deal. Fast forward a month later, this is the worst thing ever. Wear masks. Prior to that, don't wear masks.
None of it makes sense.
It's okay that he's wrong. It's okay to say that you're wrong. Their projections were so far off.
By the way, some of this also might have to do with Fauci being very old and in a risk category.
He's always been cautious.
So you think he's just protecting himself?
Well, I mean,
but he's also
there's an emotional
guy. Like he's you don't get in that business without being a very cautious person.
Well, to
give that scale of what was it, 200 million going to die, and then 60,000 die.
2 million.
Well, they're just so far off.
I'm sure somebody said 200 million though, or somebody definitely said.
Well, certainly Gavin Newsom said we're at risk of having 87 or 95% of the California population being infected by COVID.
But the thing is,
But then they're going to say if that. Sorry.
No, go
They're
ahead.
going to say, well, the only reason that didn't happen is because we went into quarantine.
Of course.
Okay, but then in
Sweden?
but how about Sweden and these other states? But how about in quarantine? Even the governor of New York came out and said that what they've realized is by locking people down, it's spreading like crazy because they're all stuck together.
Yeah.
So that being locked down in the quarantine doesn't make sense.
I think you can look at it this way. Let's say we were truly like in a dystopian future right now, and we knew for sure that 10% of Americans were going to die. No one's saying this is true. So I'm giving you like a ridiculously over-the-top scenario. Let's say really they were like, we know it right now, 10% of Americans are going to die. That's a crazy number. That means every one of us would know multiple people who died, all that stuff. At some point, even knowing that, we'd still have to start living again.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think they've tricked us into thinking, you keep seeing this where they'll be like, we can't end this until there's a vaccine. There's no vaccine for the common cold.
No, I know.
Correct.
Life is about
not
risk,
coming.
right? Life is about risk. You go out, you get punched, you get into fights, you get hit by a car. The litany, you could have a freaking,
But it's
bird
weird what
kaput
we're
on your
okay
head.
with as far as deaths, because you look at deaths over the board from heart attacks to the flu, the common flu, to all these other things, cholesterol, obesity. We're fine with those. But then you look at the numbers of this, which are much smaller, and we're not fine with
COVID's not that
Yeah.
deadly. How about that? It's not that deadly.
If you're older.
Look,
if you're older.
if you're older, it is, and it is more deadly than the flu, from what I understand. But either way, the point is, they're gonna push us to a place where good people are just gonna be like, forget this. I'm gonna just go ahead and live my life. The idea that right now that I can't invite friends who are young and healthy over for dinner. I mean, I guess we could do it on the DL.
I've been.
I do it.
Yeah. Look, my hair's a little shorter than it was the other day.
Your hair
You know
looks-
how, you know
your
how I
hair's
did it?
distractingly
I had
good.
a
hair's distractingly
stranger
good.
came into my house and clipped my hair and
yeah.
told me how much he hated Trump the whole time and then left.
That's fine.
Yeah, I swear to God, that's what he did. I swear to God.
Hey, by the way, it's okay to hate Trump and still be against this shutdown.
No,
this
of
blanket shutdown.
of course,
You don't have to be a Trump supporter and be for common sense.
Right, but this idea that the anti-Trump people, they always have to express it no matter what. It's like, dude, you have no idea what I think about anything. He didn't know who I am. Doesn't even matter. But like these people that have to walk in and express all of, can you cut my hair? You got a
hate
scissor?
Trump. Yeah.
You got a scissor, but now you got to go on your anti-Trump
Yeah,
tirade.
they're like vegans. They
Oh,
want
I
you to
thought-
know.
so
that-
Michael-
I thought he knew who you were.
No, he didn't even know who it was. But Michael, my producer here, he got a hair. Well, I don't want to say it. But his hair's a little shorter than it was the other day too, from another guy, and he has a Trump bobblehead in his apartment. And the guy came in and started ranting about Trump too. It's like these people could do your job.
Yeah,
do your job, unless your job is to hate Trump, which then you get a job at CNN.
Yeah, well, then you get a job at
You know?
CNN. It really is true. Right now,
Yeah.
watch your tone.
Okay. What's going to happen? What are you going to do? Use some of that boxing you've been doing?
Don't you fucking disrespect.